Destroyed hard. Paul Mescal roasted Meghan hard on his monologue at Saturday Night Live, calling her fraudster. The glitzy world of celebrity often thrives on charm, calculated public appearances, and carefully curated narratives. But events took a dramatic turn on a recent episode of Saturday Night Live, SNL, when actor Paul Mescal unleashed a brutal takedown of Meghan Markle in his opening monologue. The normal people star, known for his quiet demeanor and grounded public persona, shocked the audience and viewers alike by calling out Markle's alleged inconsistencies, labeling her a fraudster. The unexpected jab has since sparked a firestorm of debate, raising questions about the Duchess of Sussex's authenticity and the relentless drama surrounding her public image. In a world where celebrities are often hesitant to ruffle feathers, Mescal's direct approach was both refreshing and incendiary. His monologue didn't merely poke fun at Markle in the usual SNL comedic style, it pointed fingers at her credibility, painting a picture of a woman who has allegedly manipulated her way into the spotlight. Mescal's words touched on issues that have long simmered beneath the surface, from accusations of opportunism to doubts about her sincerity in advocating for causes she champions. The monologue wasn't just comedy, it was a cultural moment that reignited the polarizing conversation about Meghan Markle's role in the public eye. Mescal's choice of the word fraudster was particularly striking. While he didn't delve into specific details during his monologue, the term carries heavy implications. A fraudster is someone who deceives others for personal gain, and by applying this label to Markle, Mescal appeared to challenge the very foundation of her public persona. Critics have often accused Meghan of portraying herself as a victim while simultaneously capitalizing on the privileges of her royal title. Mescal's comments seem to echo these sentiments, suggesting that Markle's actions don't always align with her carefully crafted image of authenticity and altruism. One of the most contentious aspects of Meghan Markle's story has been her narrative of victimhood. From her explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey to her Netflix docuseries with Prince Harry, Markle has repeatedly described herself as a victim of relentless racism, media harassment, and royal family politics. While these claims have garnered her significant sympathy, they have also invited scrutiny. Mescal's monologue appeared to tap into this skepticism, questioning whether Markle's narrative is entirely truthful or exaggerated for public sympathy and financial gain. The 2021 interview with Oprah Winfrey was a watershed moment for Meghan Markle, but it also marked the beginning of a significant divide in public opinion. During the interview, Markle made several explosive claims, including allegations of racism within the royal family and admissions of her mental health struggles. However, many of these claims have since been criticized for their lack of corroborating evidence. For instance, Meghan alleged that a senior royal expressed concerns about her son Archie's skin color, but she refused to name the individual or provide further context. This ambiguity has led some to question whether the accusation was genuinely rooted in fact or strategically vague to generate outrage without accountability. Paul Mescal's SNL monologue seemed to reflect this growing cynicism. By referring to her as a fraudster, he indirectly questioned the veracity of her accusations and the motivations behind her public disclosures. Was Markle genuinely seeking to shed light on systemic issues, or was she using her platform to settle personal scores and solidify her status as a global celebrity? Critics argue that Markle's actions often blur the line between activism and self-promotion, making it difficult to discern her true intentions. Another focal point of Mescal's implied critique may have been Meghan and Harry's Netflix docuseries, Harry and Meghan. Released in late 2022, the series promised to provide an intimate look into the couple's lives and their struggles with the British royal family. However, many viewers felt the series was less about shedding light on important issues and more about perpetuating a cycle of grievance and self-pity. Meghan, in particular, was accused of using the platform to rewrite history, portraying herself as a misunderstood outsider who was never given a fair chance by the royal institution. The docuseries also raised questions about the couple's privacy. Meghan and Harry have repeatedly stated their desire for a more private life, yet they have willingly shared intimate details of their personal lives with the world. This apparent contradiction has led critics to accuse them of hypocrisy, suggesting that their real goal isn't privacy but control over their narrative. Mescal's monologue may have been a reflection of this sentiment, calling out the perceived dissonance between Meghan's words and actions. Meghan Markle's Spotify podcast, Archetypes, was another project that promised to challenge stereotypes and empower women. However, it too faced criticism for its perceived self-centeredness. While the podcast featured high-profile guests and explored important topics, many listeners felt that Meghan often steered the conversation back to herself, making it less about advocacy and more about self-promotion. The podcast's abrupt cancellation in 2023 further fueled speculation about its true purpose and impact. Mescal's monologue could be seen as a broader critique of Meghan's ventures, which often seem to prioritize her personal brand over the causes they claim to support. Whether it's her podcast, her interviews, or her charity work, Meghan's projects have been accused of lacking substance and serving as vehicles for her own aggrandizement. Mescal's comments on SNL may have struck a chord because they touched on a growing frustration with celebrities who use activism as a veneer for self-interest. What makes Paul Mescal's monologue particularly compelling is the fact that it came from someone who isn't typically associated with controversy. Unlike many Hollywood figures, Mescal has largely avoided the limelight, focusing instead on his craft and maintaining a low-key public presence. His decision to address Meghan Markle so directly suggests that her actions have resonated far beyond the usual circles of royal gossip and celebrity drama. Mescal's comments may have been comedic, but they also reflected a broader cultural fatigue with figures who are perceived as disingenuous or opportunistic. Unsurprisingly, Mescal's remarks have sparked intense debate. Supporters of Meghan Markle have accused him of perpetuating misogyny and unfairly targeting a woman of color who has faced relentless scrutiny. They argue that Meghan's critics often hold her to an impossible standard, ignoring the systemic issues she has sought to address. On the other hand, Mescal's defenders believe his monologue highlighted legitimate concerns about authenticity and accountability in the celebrity world. Social media has been a battleground for these opposing viewpoints. Hashtags like #PaulMescalSNL and #MeghanMarkleFraud trended on Twitter, with users dissecting every aspect of the controversy. Some praised Mescal for his bravery in speaking out, while others condemned him for what they saw as an unwarranted attack on a woman who has already endured significant public criticism. Paul Mescal's scathing monologue on Saturday Night Live was more than just a comedic bit, it was a cultural moment that reignited the polarizing conversation about Meghan Markle's public persona. By calling her a fraudster, Mescal tapped into a growing skepticism about Markle's authenticity and motivations, challenging the carefully curated narrative she has presented to the world. While some may view Mescal's comments as unfair or overly harsh, they also reflect a broader frustration with celebrities who are perceived as prioritizing their personal brand over genuine advocacy. Whether Mescal's critique will have any lasting impact on Meghan Markle's public image remains to be seen, but one thing is clear, the debate over her role in the spotlight is far from over.